New MG4 CRAZY Most Popular EV Car 2022, now the best investment yet. The lack of chips and the current economic problems have made it less likely that EVs will be cheaper than cars that use fossil fuels shortly. The $25,000 Tesla seems further away than it did before, and the cost of batteries hasn't gone down to below $100 per kilowatt hour, which is needed for price parity because of a lack of minerals. But EVs are getting cheaper, and one company that is helping to bring prices down is MG. Great news, right? So the newly introduced MG4 EV from the manufacturer establishes a new benchmark for the quality of electric vehicles. Is this new version looking good to you? We at Tech Electric are excited to share with you the most recent information regarding EVs. Perhaps you are interested in purchasing one for yourself, but you're unsure which model to choose. You don't have anything to worry about because everything you need to know about MG4 is right here, so let's get started. The Volkswagen ID.3, the Cupra Born, and the Chevy Bolt EV are all in the same class as the MG4 EV. In the same class are the Vauxhall Opel Corsa E, the Peugeot E208, and the DS3 E-Tense, which are all electric cars made by the Stellantis Group. Even though SUVs are the best-selling cars in the United States and have become the most popular in Europe, compact cars are still very popular and are the best choice for a general-purpose car that is mostly used in cities. If there was one type of car that was going to lead the way in terms of value, it would be a small one, and the MG4 EV has a lot of features that make it a classic of its kind. This is the first MG to be built on a platform that is only used for electric cars. This architecture, called the Modular Scalable Platform or MSP, will be the basis for future MG releases. It's a real skateboard system with the batteries flat under the floor and a long wheelbase to maximize space and provide balance in a low center of gravity. MG4 EV models, how they drive and how far they can go. Traditionally, the MSP architecture enables a variety of battery and motor configurations to be utilized. The first models of the MG4 EV to go on sale are the SE Standard Range and the SE and Trophy Long Range models. The former has a battery capacity of 51 kilowatt hours and a motor of 125 kilowatts or about 168 horsepower, while the latter has a battery capacity of 64 kilowatt hours and a motor of 150 kilowatts or 201 horsepower. Both have a weight distribution of 50% front and 50% rear, which makes them a ton of fun to pilot behind the wheel. Although they are not particularly quick compared to other electric vehicles, like it takes the standard range model 7.7 seconds to reach 62 miles per hour, while the long range model takes 7.9 seconds, their handling is excellent, and their high torque levels make it simple to compete overtaking maneuvers. Both of the available battery capacities provide usable amounts of range. The standard range has a maximum capacity of 218 miles, WLTP rating, the EPA's not yet revealed their rating, while the SC long range has a very respectable capacity of 281 miles. This number is reduced to 270 miles in the trophy version. It's interesting to note that the standard range automobile employs the same lithium iron phosphate battery that's used in the base model of the Tesla Model 3 that's built in China. Because this chemistry is more tolerant to being charged to 100%, you'll be able to make better use of the battery's full capacity across its whole range. The long range makes use of NMC chemistry, which is closer to the mainstream. These cars also have good DC charging rates, which makes it easier for them to go on longer trips. The maximum power for the standard range is 117 kilowatts, and it takes 39 minutes to charge from 10% to 80%. Even though the long range can go up to 135 kilowatts, it only takes 35 minutes to go from 10% to 80%, even though it can do more. With more rapid chargers coming out that can provide this much power, like the new Super Hubs from Osprey in the UK, it's becoming easier to think about using an EV for more than just short trips and commuting. The MG4 EV will have a longer range and two motors. MG also plans to make two more types of drivetrains in the future. One will have a 77 kilowatt-hour battery with a range of 329 miles, which is better than cars from Kia and Hyundai, and will put the ID.3 Tour to the test. The version with two 330 kilowatt or over 440 horsepower motors will be the most exciting. MG says it'll be able to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.7 seconds. The all-wheel drive could make the MG4 EV a pocket performance classic, especially if MG can do it for less than $48,000. The MG4 EV is already a lot of fun with just one motor. This car will have a 64 kilowatt-hour battery and a range of about 250 miles. Both the outside and the inside of the old MG cars looked a bit dated. With a much more modern look on the outside, the MG4 EV changes that. It's close to being sexy. The front is aggressive and the back is sporty and angular, especially with the extra spoiler on the trophy version, which may be one reason why it doesn't go as far as the SE. The inside has also been updated. Some of the materials used for the interior trim don't look very high-end, but the look as a whole is clean and modern. The old MGs had dials, but the new ones have a 7-inch display that's digital for the instruments and a 10.25-inch display for entertainment. This car has plenty of room for the driver and passengers because the wheelbase is longer. Even if you're 6 feet tall, there's enough space for your knees and head if you sit in the back. Even on long trips, the seats are comfortable enough. But only the driver's seat can be adjusted electronically and only on the trophy trim. This also doesn't have lumbar support. Cargo space is just average, although the base amount, 363 liters or about 13 cubic feet, is more than most subcompacts, but less than the VW ID3 or Cupra Born. When the back seats are folded down, there's a total of 1,177 liters or about 42 cubic feet of space. This is more than most subcompact cars, but again, less than the Volkswagen Group options. But when the seats are folded down, the space behind them is flat and there's no lip, so that's very useful. Better information and entertainment, but it could still be better. MG's also updated the MG4 EV's infotainment and controls, and it seems like the company still needs to take one more step in this area. For this car, MG has gotten rid of most of the extras, leaving only a dial to control the drive, an electronic parking brake, and a few buttons to defog the front and back windows. There's also the usual turn signal and windshield wiper stalks on the steering wheel. With the 10.25-inch screens used for everything else, the menu system has gotten better since the first version, but there's still some problems. For example, the interface for climate control doesn't stay visible long enough to make a lot of changes. At least, it would have been nice to be able to change the fan speed and temperature with separate buttons. However, as was already said, you can turn on the front and rear window defogging. MG has at least added more features to its iSmartphone app and connected system, such as the ability to check the charge and turn on the air conditioning from a distance. The car is also said to be able to get software updates over the air. Best value EV ever? But the price is the most important thing about the MG4 electric vehicle. The hope was that this car would cost around £25,000 or $30,000, but MG hasn't quite reached this price point. The SE standard range cost about $31,000 or £25,995, and the SE long range cost £28,495, which is about $34,000, and the SE Trophy cost £31,495, which comes out to about $37,500 in the US. At these prices, it's much cheaper than almost all of its competitors like the Renault Zoe, the Nissan Leaf, and all cars from Stellantis. And it's also much cheaper than the Volkswagen Group cars. Even the great electric cars from Kia and Hyundai look expensive in comparison. And that'll be it for today's video. We'll be back with some more informative videos just like this one, so please keep supporting us via liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more.